Howdy all, Mojang Lives. I think it's time we play a little Minecraft. Alright. I... Hmm. I need... Obviously I need some more blue. I need more blue. I need more light gray. I probably have to do some mining then, right? Because I... Ooh, I better fix my shovel. I don't have enough sand or gravel, I think, for all this. So I guess we're going to head out to the desert so I can get my hands on some sand. It has been a pretty crazy week. What with this being... So last week was Christmas week, and next week is, or Monday night is New Year's Eve. I feel like that whole just week and a half there is just basically one big holiday, and not in a good sense. Oops. Yeah, it was, it's been a long week. Usually it's a long week because it's just work, but I worked and we had multiple family members over for multiple days, and they finally have gone home. Oh man, looks like I could use some more diamonds too. I can always use more diamonds, but yeah, not a bad Christmas. It was seems like every year I wind up with a duplicate present, and so I did wind up with 2 copies of the same movie again this year. At least it wasn't a copy of a movie I already had. I think I've got 3 copies of The Thing, maybe, or is it Predator? I can't remember. But I wound up with multiple instances of the same movie on multiple occasions now. Right, I'm going to the desert. That is through the Nether. And so we, yeah, basically what happens is you make a list, right? And I just give the same list to everybody. And so I wind up with duplicates. Although sometimes I get duplicates from the same people, so that's a little weird. But little zombie pigman running down through there. I almost couldn't remember how to get back out. So yeah, what did I get? I got a 3DS game. I got a couple of PlayStation 4 games. Monster Hunter World, the new Resident Evil. I got Bravely Second. Not that I've finished Bravely Default, but I did put it on my list since it was a sequel. And of course now I can't find my 3DS anywhere to oh nice, I can take that. It has, well, let somebody borrow it, and they have no idea where it has absconded to. So until they figure out where that's at, I am not going to be able to play my games. What's crazy, they have access to 2 3DSs, mine and another person's, and they don't know where that one is either. So they've lost 2 3DSs. I did get what else did I get? I got some movies. The big thing that I got is definitely the big thing that I got is Gloomhaven, and I said it's the big thing that I got because it's huge. It's a massive 25-pound board game. I don't know if it's actually 25 pounds, but it's pretty close. It's in a really large box and it's completely full. We finally got a chance to play that yesterday. It took me like 3 hours to figure out how to even play the game. I do have to say their instructions leave a bit to be desired. Mostly because it's like the way it's laid out is confusing. The instructions are more like an encyclopedia, and so I mean that's all well and good, but I feel like it would have been better to have a tutorial and less of a here is what this card looks like, and here's all the pieces on this card. Here's what this card looks like, and all the pieces on this card. And and so I feel like it'd been better to be like, all right, so first you got to do this, and then once you've done that, then you can, um, then you get out this piece, and then this is what all the things on this piece that you just got out mean, and then get out these pieces. But it wasn't set up like that. It was like this is the uh, this is the character card, and this is a bad guy card, and but you don't need the bad guy card out that quickly. You don't even know what's going on at that point, and so so yeah, I kind of wish it had had more of a tutorial feel to it than an encyclopedic feel. I felt like it would have gone faster had they been able to make up their mind in their set of instructions that they wanted to be a tutorial or an encyclopedia. Um, because then you'd need to know something about some obscure thing on the card, but it wouldn't be in that section. It would be, you know, like they show you what a character card looks like, right? Well, then not everybody's character card looks the same. And so then you're like, well, like they show one of the cards, so I know what all the stuff on this card means, but there's some symbols on this other character card that we don't know what this other card means. And so where's that? And then you find that like 30 pages later. And I'm like, okay, you can't tell me what all the bits are on a card and then not tell me what all the symbols on the card means. Because it was like, that's the name, that's the level, you know, here's where the symbols go, but we're not. Why did I come in here? I didn't need to be in here. We're not going to tell you where the. We're not going to tell you what all the symbols mean until 20, 30 pages later. And then because the size of the game, there's also the scenario book. So the beginning of the scenario book has a bit of a tutorial in it. But I still feel like we missed some steps because I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be uh, a main card that goes with your character, and I did not deal that out. So um, it's a cool game though. I definitely recommend it if you like that style of game. Uh, it is pretty impressive with the amount of stuff in it. So what kind of game is it? It's a RPG game, and there are 17 classes, and then it's got like 43 or 48. I think it's 43 different types of bad guys, and there's uh there's okay, and that's what makes the game crazy because uh, your character has a deck of cards. I don't know how many cards are in it, and then the deck of cards, or it's got two decks of cards in it. Right? Two decks of cards? Yeah, I think so. And so, one deck of cards are your attack modifier cards, and then one deck of cards are your ability cards. And so, as you play the game, you go up levels and you get to add to both decks or subtract from both decks, depending on what you're getting your hands on. And so, uh, so there's a lot of cards, but you only start with the first, 10 cards. But then there are more cards that go with those 10 cards later on, and then there's item cards, just tons and tons of item cards. I I think there's over 100 items in the game, and only the first 14 are available when you start the game because the game is like part city building and part I didn't want to come down here. It's part city building, part uh, right, because this is going to be blue, and then this will come up to this level, and then this will be blue, that'll be blue, that'll be blue, that'll be blue. As soon as I go and get some more blue. And so it's yeah, it's there's like actual city building in it. Well, not, I guess it's not city building, but your city starts out at level 1 or 0, whatever it starts at, and then as you play through the game, you gain prosperity points. And so when your city gains enough prosperity points, um, then you it goes up a level, and then you get access to more items that you can purchase for your characters because you earn money while you're doing the various quests, and you earn experience so you can go up levels, and you earn reputation points, which make the merchants like you better, so you can get discounts on the items when you purchase them, or you can also go down in reputation, so you can actually make the merchants charge you more for items. It's pretty complex. It plays a lot like the battle part plays a lot like Descent, which is another RPG game that I have that I really enjoy. And so it's like to me, playing both Descent and Gloomhaven. It's like I don't know if it's more complex, but it's there's more to it. Um, Although, I mean, Descent also has a bunch of different classes, and they have their own decks that build up as you gain experience, and so they're not totally dissimilar. All right, so I need lapis, I think, for my. They're blue flowers though, right? Can't I just get blue dye? That's got to be a thing, yeah. I also have a ton of lapis. I don't, however, have gravel, so I have got to go mine gravel. So what I need to do is I need to put this stuff back. And I need to go collect some gravel. I need to put this away before I accidentally use it. Oh, I'm up to 7 ender pearls. How fancy. Alright, so let's get down underground here and go hunting for gravel. Um, but yeah, so my nieces and nephew were over. They came over Wednesday, I think. And so they've been here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then today. And so that was cool. We finally got to pick up on some more of our show that we've been working on for years at this point. I told them, I'm like, uh, two of you about to graduate from high school and go off to college, and I think we're at the point where I'm just gonna have to finish this show without you. They didn't like that, but I mean, what else are we gonna do? I'm not gonna wait for too much longer here to be able to finish off a show that's been off the air for 2 years. Uh, we just made it to the end of season 6. It's or no, we just made it to the end of season 5, and it's 8 seasons, and there's a spin-off show and a spin-off show of the spin-off show, and so I really want to finish the first show so I can get to the next show. And you guys are just like I said, not here. So hey man, I am trying to make some torches. Bye. And then I'm trying to get things scheduled for New Year's because uh, we usually go to a New Year's party at a friend's house, and there's some gravel right there, and so the rest of the people that I normally go with are not gonna be in this state, and so I had already told them I would come, but I told them I would come when the other people were going with me. So now I'm going to this New Year's party. I hate parties. Uh, 'Cause it's like it's just not fun. I just it's not that I could make it fun either. It's like when you go do something with your parents, right? I mean, sure, you might laugh some, or you might enjoy what you're doing, but it's not really what you want to be doing sometimes. And so this is one of those occasions where, sure, we might do something I enjoy, but for the most part, it's just gonna be people sitting around chatting with each other who I have nothing in common with, other than the fact that we know each other. I mean, I don't really have much to say because we don't operate in the same world, and so like they'll sit around and talk about their kids. Well, I don't have any kids. Sit around and talk about their spouses. I don't have a spouse. And sit around and talk about their jobs. I guess I could. I can't really talk about my job either because I have an NDA. And and my job is so different than their jobs. So we're not even in the same kind of fields. I mean, my cousin will be there, but I don't really have that much in common with her other than she's my cousin. That's about the extent of that. Can I please put down a torch? What is going on? I feel like I shouldn't have to click that many times to get a torch to place. Also, I can't believe there's this much territory that I haven't explored back in here. No, no, dang it. What is going on? Why are there so many bad guys coming out of that tunnel? I gotta go back up here and see what's going on with this tunnel. That was a lot of zombies just to wander out of here. There's nothing here. They must have come from over here, maybe? Shoo. Um, but yeah, I mean, my one friend, we used to play a lot of video games and stuff together. Which is, I mean, we've known each other since he was in kindergarten, I was in first grade, and so I wouldn't say we're particularly close though. We just know each other, and we used to hang out a lot, but over the years that's stopped happening, and and every time I try to get him to engage in something, he basically doesn't. He'll come by and be like, "Oh yeah, I've been playing this video game," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I haven't played that one yet." Like Monster Hunter World. He was big into Monster Hunter World. Well, I just got Monster Hunter World, and then for his birthday, we sometimes, not every year, like we didn't this year, but sometimes we get invited over for birthday, and so for his birthday, I brought him. Oh no, you know what happened was I purchased a copy of a game for Christmas for someone, and then I found out they were already getting it from someone else. And so I thought, hey, I'll give it to him for his birthday because it's a game that I play, and it's a online. It was Destiny 2, and I'm like, he's playing Monster Hunter World on his PS4. I don't have that one. And he said he doesn't have Destiny 2, so I will get him Destiny 2, and then we can play together. And so I want to say that was last year. I am still waiting for the friend invite. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know. But then we've been playing a lot of D&D. There's water just pouring through the rock here. It's crazy. And so he showed an interest. He's like, "Oh yeah, I always wanted to try that out." And I'm like, "Well, why don't you get your kids and come over, and I'll put together a little game for us." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, sometime we should do that." And so every time I see him, I'm like, "Hey, we ever gonna do that D&D thing?" "Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I can't do much more than invite you over, you know?" Um, and then his wife is like, "Hey, how come we never see you?" I'm like, "Well, you know where I'm at. You've got my phone number. You want me to come over some Friday night? Just text me." I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna text you about coming over next Friday. That was a couple of months ago. I still have not received a text. But then I do get invited to the New Year's party. So I don't know what the deal is. But I know that every year, well, maybe not this year because most of their kids are getting older. So, but it had been in the past. I would sit there and do stuff with the kids, like play a board game or um, play some video games or something. And not that I want to hang out with their kids necessarily. And then eventually, eventually, then the parents would come, and then we would usually play some other kind of board game. But it would be like hours later. And so I've been sitting there waiting to even hang out with them for. I'd get there about 6. It'd be about 10:30, 11 o'clock before they'd even acknowledge I was there. That is basically every person I know. It's not just these people. It's basically every person I know. I feel like I ought to go find other people who actually like the same things I do. Oh man, oh, thank you, rain. Thank you, rain that is pouring through the rock for some reason. Um, I had been working on putting together a D&D campaign to run with some of the people I know, and so I finally got to the point where I am ready to get it started. And so I send out messages, right? And I'm like, hey, and does anybody want to join this thing? I know some of you, said you wanted to play. And I mean, I know we're playing other things. That's why I want to do it as a play-by-post, because play-by-post we can. I wonder if the rain pouring through here means that the light still pours through here, and that there's just certain areas, maybe? I don't know. I do not know. All I know is that every cave I light up down here means better grinder. And then we had some interpersonal issues, and so now some of those guys are no longer hanging out together, and um, so I'm like, okay, well, one of the guys involved in the interpersonal issue had already agreed in our public area for the gaming group, and so then I don't know, the other guy indicated he didn't want to. I sent a message to the other guy. He said he didn't want to. He said it sounded interesting, but he would pass. I'm like, okay. So, it's great when they constantly ask you to do things with them, but whenever you ask them to do things with you, then it's a big no. It's always a big no. Everybody I know is a narcissist. It's okay if you want to do what they're doing, but they are not willing to try to do anything that you want to do every time. And so I die, skellies. So then I'm sending a message to the guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting any response from anybody about playing. So if we have to, we'll just play a one-person D&D game. And then I thought, hey, my nephew loves to play D&D. He might actually be willing to do this, so I should send him a message. And then I sent a message to the guy I play with on Wednesday and play by post sometimes to see if he wanted to join. And then while waiting for him, I had talked to my nephew about it, and then my nephew said he would play, and then I talked to that dude's cousin, and he said he would play, and so I'm like, well, there we go. That's a party of 4. That's standard party size right there, and yeah, it's been 3 days, and that dude and his cousin have not responded since they initially agreed to play. And I'm not okay with that. It's rude. I didn't demand they play. I didn't beg them to play. If they didn't want to play, they should have just said no, because the rest of us would like to play, and I can easily swap the game down to 2 players. And so if I don't get a response from them tonight, I'm gonna tell them they're just gonna not play, or I'm at least gonna tell them, I probably won't tell them they're not going to play. I'm going to tell them that if they don't feel they can respond on a near daily basis, then they shouldn't have agreed and they can go their separate ways and not be part of my game because I'm not doing what they do. Oh man, I let some iron get away from me here. I'm not doing what they do in the play-by-post that those two guys play in. We have waited a week and a half for a response from our DM in that. He sends me messages. We have talked. I talked to him yesterday, but he has not posted in either D&D game, so it's not like he doesn't have time. Obviously, he's got time. If he's got time to answer a message, he's got time to post a couple of sentences. And I mean, it infuriates me because we're like, he's like, all right, so what are you guys doing? And we're like, all right, this is what we're doing. And then he's like, all right, well, I'm going to wait to see if the other guy wants to do something, which is his cousin, who also doesn't respond on a timely manner. And so then we wait and we wait and we wait, and it's like 4 days before his cousin finally gets on there and posts something. I don't have any excuses. It's not like they're in a life and death situation. If you can answer an email, you can play a play-by-post game. It's not crazy difficult to just check once a day and put some responses down. It's not like a novel length anything. It's just a few sentences you got to read through and post what you want your guy to do. You know, if you only say your guy's going to do one thing every day, that's still advancing the game. And so I'm not putting up with it. I'm not going to play the we only post once every 2 weeks game. I told them I want to do it on a near daily basis. They agreed to that, and so I am not happy with them at the moment. And I already sent them messages today. I'm like, hey, it's been 3 days since the last time you guys posted anything, and the rest of us would like to get going. And so if they don't, and I know they're online because the one dude posted a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook. So you could stop pretending you're too busy because you had enough time to post useless chit-chat about yourself on Facebook. I mean, once again, that plays into the narcissist thing, right? They got enough time to talk about themselves. They don't have enough time to do what they agreed with that involves somebody else. And so, I mean, I had people over. We were hanging out. I had work. I didn't take off work. I worked Christmas Day. And I still had time to go in and get all that up and going. So, yeah, no excuse. Only excuse they got is not interested in doing something that somebody else wants to do. And should have just said, no, I don't think I can devote the time to play your thing. It's super rude. It's super rude. And I put up with it in the other one because the dude is the DM and it's his game. So if he doesn't want to respond for 2 weeks, I guess he cannot respond for 2 weeks. But I'm the DM in this game, and so we're going to move at my pace, or you're not going to play. And, yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to try and figure out how to get back out of here. I got some diamonds. I have acquired... I've acquired several stacks of gravel. I've gotten a little bit of lapis. And, yeah, so it's not a bad haul for a mining trip. Alright, with that, click like, subscribe, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.